right. Well, episode 3.
Wow.
3? It's just like 3.
What's YouTube's terms and cussing again?
A lot. So I'm going to have to do like a lot of editing. So, because otherwise we don't get monetized. And I'm not trying to have.
Why is it you turn the camera on? The dog starts coming over here.
Because she knows. How's she doing? Where's she, Nanny? Yeah.
65 pounds of a
muscle.
puddle missile.
I know.
Big, scary pit bulls. Mm. Look at this big, scary pit bull.
Welcome to our channel. If this is your first time, awesome. Appreciate you dropping by. If you've been here before, welcome back.
So, we was just talking off cameras, make it a little more personal. That's how you want it in your channel.
It's our channel. It's not just yours. I have my own separate channel. That's
right. It's hilarious. I just do the legwork.
I'm the one doing the editing.
I'm the one financially supporting this.
No, there's nothing. It's just for free.
Lies. Oh, no. And that being said, on the financial joke, I would say, I don't know, let the viewers know, like, the scariness of being, I don't know if you can already put your age up, but the scariness of being over 30 woman.
No, you gotta be right. So I'm over 40. I'm accepting my age.
You just hit 40, fool. Chick flags.
41? I'm 41. Still I'm in the club. Okay. 41.
Anyways, let them know what it's like, what just recently happened with your most recent employer, and then what the job market is looking like, even with someone of your background in education.
This is a thing that's been the trend that I've seen over like the last even like week and a half. I've been seeing like little phrases here and there, whether it's on LinkedIn or posts or YouTube videos that I'm hearing different YouTubers mentioning. I'm 41. I'm a wife, a mother of 2. I have 2 master's degrees. I can somewhat speak Japanese. I can speak Tagalog because I'm half Filipino. I can somewhat speak English at times. It just depends. Learning Korean. And the highest position I've ever held was a director's position. And right now I'm unemployed. Basically, I'm all my other roles, but not an employee. And right now I've been using an app called Lazy Apply, which basically takes my resume. I'll put the link down below. But it basically takes my resume and I find different roles, like whether I type in director of business operations or director of business development, or if I want to shoot for the stars and be like, okay, VP of operations, and it'll pull jobs from LinkedIn, from Indeed, and different platforms, and it'll actually automatically apply for me on my behalf. But I also do my manual applying to like different organizations for positions that I feel, when I'm looking at the description, I feel as though I have the qualifications. And my resume, I revamped it like at least 3 times over the last like 6 months now. And I know I'm over thousands of applications, and I just got maybe a total of I'd say 4 interviews so far.
Let me digress a little bit on this. What she's not telling you guys is that she has bachelor's degrees, she has master's degrees. She's also, when she was attending her college years, accepted, to study abroad in Japan, actually going to a foreign country, completing part of her degree program in that foreign country for a set amount of time.
It was 1 year.
Point is like you have all this, and this is the thing that you guys gotta be wary of. And they'll say, hey, if you do this work, you study for this work, you obtain this credential, you're marketable. She has all she could find right now are entry-level positions, because they look at her stuff and then they get scared. Oh, we can't take her on. And she even applied for one of the companies I am affiliated with, but I was just shocked. And they even turned her down when I see who they hire. And I work with amongst who they hire, even amongst all levels across the company. And it's baffling.
Yeah.
So it leads into the conversation where this is what we were talking off camera is, what do you do with your life at this point when you do have to reset and start over?
It basically pivoting, and it can get discouraging. And I had mentioned in a previous recording that I had a day where I had dropped off the kids. I came back. He was working because he works from home, and I was actually in her bedroom, and I was just looking and I kept seeing rejection after rejection after rejection. And I basically just broke down because I'm just like, what else? I'm just looking at God. I'm like, what else can I do? I'm like, I'm taking the moment to take this time to spiritually search for God because it's like, what else can I do? I did what I was told. I was a good daughter, got the good grades, went to school, got multiple good jobs. And now I'm in a situation where I'm like,
I'm gonna embarrass you quick. She even related to have relations until she was married. Relations with your old self.
what I had to deal with. But it was to the point where I actually wrote a book on it because it's like, it's called You Are Enough, shameless plug, but I'll put the link down below as well. But it was one of those situations where for me, I'm always just thinking that I'm not good enough. And then now having these constant rejections based on all the schooling and all the experience and all the skills that I have to offer, it's been like discouraging, unfortunately. So that's why, to help me combat the anxiety, to help combat like the discouragement, I'm doing things like this. I'm working alongside my husband. I have also my personal channel as well. I'm also working on designing different things. I've authored my book called You Are Enough.
But you're trying to turn it into a series, a short reading a series from a grown woman's perspective with kids in a full-time life.
Even if this just goes out for someone who needs to hear it, it's okay to have discouraging moments. There's been different themes that I've been picking up here and there, even on LinkedIn in the professional posts, that there's a lot of people out there that they're unemployed. They have to look for work because they need it for like the medical, dental, vision. And a lot of times the recruiters aren't looking at it as, okay, we have thousands of people to pick from, but these are people's lives. These are people who are trying to survive. Like that has been the word that I've been seeing this last maybe like day or two, is the word survival, like to survive. And my heart goes out to those that don't have a significant other to rely on, because if I was just by myself with my two girls, I would definitely be doing like the Instacart, the DoorDashes, I'd go get a job at like Bath and Body Works or something, or just anything to survive. So I'm not trying to downplay that I'm blessed enough that my husband does have a job where he can pay for the finances right now.
But the other part to that is like the added stress, and be it if you were with me or by yourself. I know it's been heartbreaking for you because our oldest daughter is now, she's not doing it in a vindictive way. She's asking intelligent questions, meaning that I'm not going to say age, she's in grade school. She's still a baby, but she's starting to put things together in an intelligent manner of like, Mommy, how come we spend money on this before it was a problem? Or how come,
like going out to BlackRock or Dutch Bros, or I would always treat them to, okay,
why are you concerned about the next class for martial arts and having to make an adjustment? And what you don't talk to her about, because one, it's not technically age appropriate with her. Two, the boundary between mother and daughter is that you confide in me. And it's like, you've been working since you were 15.
Yeah.
Willingly. You were not forced. You're not like, oh, we were so poor and broken, we had to go out. No, you were motivated at a very young age, as you tell our daughters. You saw something, figured it out, you applied it, and you eventually earned. And you've been an earner since you were 15. Now, and it's not that I keep money from you, but now that our budget is way more tight than we would normally be,
right,
you are feeling that burden because it's not necessarily my money. It's not being withheld from you. It's the concept of, I'm independent. Yeah, I'm married. I want to make my own money. I want to make my own amends. I want to make my own decisions and not have to rely upon this, that, or other.
right.
And the thing I've been trying to do my best at supporting you is, yeah, right now we are in a beneficial time. Do everything you can that you've been talking about for the last 10 years with Toastecandy, shameless plug, toastecandy.com. Shout out, hello, to get the LLC off the ground.
There was a quote, I can't remember which social media platform. I want to say it was LinkedIn. surprisingly, now thinking about it. Or it might have been Instagram this morning. I don't know where I saw it, but it basically said along the lines of, you're living the prayers that you asked for. And I did pray that I wanted to spend more time with my kids, being able to work on things around the house, like making sure things are
Get
clean.
employed. You got plenty of that.
So
Your
I
job
wanted
is boom.
to do things for my business, to be able to be creative. Ever since I was maybe, I'd say 11 or 12, I always wanted to have my own business. And I was making like dumb little things, little trinkets of like, let me make stuff out of yarn bracelets. Let me go babysit. We lived in an apartment way back then. And there's this new couple and they asked me to watch their toddler and then their infant. And I was like 12.
Back when we could be able to do such things.
Yeah, you can't do that now. But
I'm gonna let you watch my 8-year-old if I had one.
I forgot what my point was. Oh, the prayer thing. So I wanted to be able to have the time. I wanted to be able to have the peace, the rest, and be able to create things for my own business. And now I have it. I'm in that situation. It's not as perfect or as what I truly envisioned, but I'm like, well, I have the time now for my kids. I can go pick them up. I can go volunteer more. I can make little snacks for them, like the brownies and stuff for them, without having to worry about like, crap, I have to be at work, or I don't have those stresses. There's different stresses and problems, but I have what I prayed for.
Well, it's like you have these digital orders that you've been working on lately. You made the comment yesterday in the car and you thought it was funny. You're like, I finally got something sold. You mentioned how much it was. And you're like, not to a point. And I remind you, I said, yeah, but that's still one step ahead further than what you were at yesterday.
You know, it's like a sale is a sale.
And you have to just, because I work in sales professionally, the level of sales I work with, I work nationally. And at one point, I was doing global stuff. For the most part, I'm a national sales rep, working at a higher level market. My point is,
Real quick, shameless plug. I do want to plug in my former colleague, and he was actually, I feel like he's my indirect mentor. He does sales training, so I'm going to put his information
on
down.
a global level.
Yeah, he does it on a global level. He's amazing. So if you are part of a team that wants to have phenomenal sales training, Tim Carlisle is amazing. I would like to support others,
Yeah.
so I will be putting his information here. Here's a picture somewhere up here.
But the point is,
But-
even Tim would have told you this thing that I also said yesterday is a sale. And it's just a matter of solution sales based versus product sales based versus intentional sales. When you are putting yourself on the line, trying to create your own business, every mentor that we've seen that has been successful has had multiple crashes. And even one of the YouTubers that we like watching on this podcast, shout out down, Eli's was talking about the name Double Tap. Now, a lot of us that are gamers or in the shooting 2A world, like Double Tap, oh, that's pretty cool. Double Tap. I'm not going to get into the meeting for YouTube reasons, but his meeting was completely something different. Dealt with one failure of a company he launched shortly after his military career ended, and he always kept it. Now he has multiple streams of incomes of stuff that he has created and built himself along with other like-minded individuals. Again, and he was talking about this more in depth, which again I reiterated to you. Yeah, you may have started this years ago. You may have had multiple failures. You're still doing it. You need to hone in on what has sold. You need to hone in on what people are interested. You need to hone in on what's happening and spend your vested time in that. So even though you don't have a job right now, you're not sitting on your butt.
Yeah.
And yeah, that part can be overwhelming.
Right.
That part can be really overwhelming. Just to want to give up. But
Yeah.
every single one that we see says the same thing. You keep pushing through. And going back to your prayer comment, you receive the prayers that you request. And if you're not specific in your prayers,
God's going to give it to you one way or the other.
whether it be vague or really be down to the nitty-gritty. So I'm telling this woman, you better go start praying. You with $1 billion on this day at this time in this exact manner, all in $100 bills, please. I'll make it rain.
He says that because there's been a lot of things where I'm like, oh my gosh, that worked out for me. Or I've actually asked for that and it worked out. And things always go my way. And when it's like something so super random, he's like, why don't you request the finances or like the money? I'm like, I'm working on it. So it's one of those things too, where it's like, I have to wait for God to bless me with that. Cause it's one of those things. I forgot
Yeah, we
phrase
were
or
watching, I forgot who it was, but it was in the sense that he was the pastor.
Okay.
It was just along the lines of, you're not going to get blessings, what he bestows upon you. He was saying, you can ask and ask and ask,
Yeah.
but if you don't apply, how are you going to get those gifts bestowed upon you? Because why is he going to give you the gift in the first place, knowing that you can't handle it right now?
Yeah.
And then he also mentioned there's going to be a point where you just feel like caught in, again, our personal mentors throughout our years married, our individual mentors, the people that we follow and watch, the people's books and stuff that we read and listen to, not just across the board, the influences that we follow because they live lives that we admire and would like to see in our own selves. They have all said the same thing. It just came to this point where all else seemed to fail. They refused to give up. And then something just changed. And all of a sudden, the gift was bestowed upon them. But what a lot of people don't talk about is once that momentum gets going, do you keep hunger to keep it going further? Do you explore other avenues to keep the revenue stream going? Do you explore different options where you are serving? And I think this is the key thing the pastor was talking about. Serving others, not yourself, because all the blessings will be bestowed upon you if you're able to provide blessings to others that don't have that same fortunate value or that fortunate scenario or situation. And not just financial means, but just blessings in general, paying it forward.
Yeah.
And I think right now, what I personally witness, you are earning what you're supposed to get. And why I keep telling you and keep pushing you, don't worry about distractions. Yes, keep applying for jobs. Yes, it does put a burden financially on us, but don't let it distract you. Because again, not to go the conversation, but you did get another job. We won't name who.
Yeah.
And it started off great. And then it turned into a switch.
It basically was one of those situations. The team was great. I'm actually still in contact with one of the team members because I always make friends with my colleagues and we end up just staying in touch afterwards. But it was to the point where we got out of training, and no downplay to the job or anything or even the role, but that role would have been perfect 20 years ago in my early 20s when I wasn't a mom and I wasn't a wife and we were just boyfriend, girlfriend, and I was just doing that job. That would have been perfect. But it got to the point where I was isolated in my office space, couldn't have the kids in there, couldn't have the dog in there. And I had to basically isolate myself the whole day for the entire 8 hours. It was very micromanagement. Say, hey, I'm going to go on my break. Hey, I'm back. Hey, I'm going on lunch break. Hey, I'm back.
Hey, I'm urinated in urinal. Precisely. I'm back.
No,
I put the toilet down
it
at
was
this
bad.
exact time. Exact.
It wasn't bad, but it basically felt that way. And it was to the point by the end of the day, I was so mentally drained, so mentally grumpy at everybody. I didn't want to make dinner. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want cuddle. I didn't want to touch me. I wanted to isolate more because I'm like, I just been completely tuned out. I discussed it with him and was just like, okay, I want to quit because I'm at the point where it's like both of us are angry and grumpy at the end of the day, and that's not fair to our kids. And so I left.
I told her to leave. It took her a minute to just, because again, in the last video, and even just reading in this one, you've been working since you're 15. Your self-preservation, your self-dependency, that's a hard thing to get out of. And not saying you have to get out of it, that's a hard thing to say, oh, I can just put that on the side. You now being in early 40s, from 15 to your early 40s, it's been you going for you to get it done.
Yeah.
And yes, in the last 17 years, I've been able to help quite a bit. But it doesn't mean, I think my famous phrase to say to you is, I can't build your dreams for you. Because there's times you got frustrated with me because it's like, why won't you get on board on this? And I'm like, because I have no interest. I don't know what I can do to participate with my expertise into that, support it.
Yeah.
And now you're starting on your ideas almost like 10 years later, but that's the point I'm trying to get across. It's 10 years that you've had the LLC, if not longer.
It started in 2017.
Okay, so just under 10 years, but
Yeah.
the idea, you've been talking about it since, and now you're acting upon it.
Yeah.
And it's not like all the time's been wasted. It's just, there was no clear focus because the 9 to 5 took over.
Yeah.
Full-time mom took over, having kids took over, and there was no balance. Going back to our earlier video on the last one, number 2, where I was getting on your case about you and your girlfriends not setting the time
to do stuff for you and acting upon it for mental health sake. So it's one of those scenarios. And now we're getting closer. Yeah, it's a risk taking YouTube. We don't know if it's going to work. Doesn't matter if it doesn't or it does. It's the fact that we're doing. And I think that's the point that needs to be crossed.
And in the end, also, I think ultimately I would like when the girls get older, we have something that they can go back and watch and laugh and be like, oh, I remember that time. And oh, that makes more sense now why mommy's the way she is.
And just to wrap this topic up, we also say it's nothing against our parents. It really isn't.
No.
And what it is that we don't want to repeat the same mistakes our parents have put us in.
And the other thing is too, like, it was a different time compared to now.
But the fundamentals weren't there. Yeah, now prove my point. You go back to Jesus' debts and taxes still existed in Jesus' time. The Bible verses that talk about the blessings bestowed upon with finances and riches of all the lands and this and that were squandered, and these were the lessons learned, and these were the outcomes. So what any difference if taxes then versus taxes now, money earned then versus money earned now, and if not applying common sense and standard understanding of finances, which our parents did not instill in us, we talk about all the time.
Which
we want to be able to give something to our kids so they can
that's
understand.
the thing, and that's I think the difference is, yes, we didn't get these lessons from our parents, so we're learning it on our own, so that way we can instill and teach our kids the best practices and mistakes. And it's definitely one of the key things I'm definitely working with our eldest is to learn from my mistakes, and then also to learn from hers if she makes any, but just to learn.
I don't know. She makes a lot of mistakes. Call her out on it. You said it yesterday to her. Your concern is at this point in time in her life, with her young adolescent self, she's starting to lose motivation for the things she wants. So if she doesn't have the motivation or the energy to work for it, how is she going to earn it? And you specifically said to her and to me, I don't want to compare her to other kids, but in this scenario, she needs to understand when she was ahead of everybody else, fully motivated and fully invested in herself and her growth, another girl got on board because of her motivation. Partially because she was jealous. The other part was she saw the excitement that she was having and displaying.
Yes, the excitement and fun that she was having.
Now, our daughter is the quite opposite. Not necessarily jealous, but maybe a little frustrated with the outcomes.
Yeah.
And you pointed out to her that same girl is now being interviewed, has now accomplished the same level, if not further, on belt that you had.
Yeah.
And is still going strong and still daily practicing. So do you want it or not, in the sense of a 10-year-old to understand is, here's how you can get there, or are you willing to do it? To when we were growing up, our parents were like, well, this is technically how it is, you figure it.
For me, in my situation, I didn't have these conversations with them. It was more just go to school, get good grades. Why did you get a B+? You had A-.
And that goes back into like just trying to do your own thing. Yeah. We're not saying we're trying to make YouTube happen. We're just saying this is one part of your idea for what you want Toastecandy to be.
But the key thing, like what you were saying, how I was explaining it to our eldest, also applies to adults and ourselves.
100%.
I was explaining it to her in a way that she could understand, but when you come down to the basics of it, it applies to anybody, no matter what age.
And that's really what Toastecandy is about. That's the overall idea for us, is that our kids have something to fall back on and created by us, but not necessarily saying they have to take it over to continue that legacy. They can see my parents worked from something and made something more of it. Because I'm not going to say we didn't come from nothing. I think we were both fortunate growing up. Our situation completely different. I wouldn't say that we came from wealth at all. I wouldn't even say we even came from well off. I would say we came from relatively
middle class.
Well, middle, low.
Working middle class.
I don't ever remember being on food stamps. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
I had friends that had food stamps, but I'm not going to associate myself on a financial level like, oh yeah, I was on food stamps. Did I get hand-me-downs? And was that the resale store? Oh, all the time. But what I'm saying is that was like the concept that you always expressed to me about Toastecandy when we had kids. Before you even started Toastecandy, your whole concept was, I just don't want to report to somebody who doesn't take my value, my energy, and my efforts at the level for which it should be taken as.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that because, again, shout out to Tim Carlisle, because he said the same thing where he wants to see, for me, to be at an organization where they truly value. And so I'm at the point now where it's like, okay, I'll have to value myself and and build
First
my
and foremost.
yeah, and that's a work in progress. That's why I wrote that book. It wasn't just a reminder for other women; it was a reminder for me. But to value myself, and then if I can't find an organization out there that I can work for that will value me, then I will have to value myself and just build my company around it. That makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
So on that note, we'll close it out. We got 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left
Oh
before
my
we hit the 30-minute mark.
Stop saying the minutes, because by the time I edit this, they could be like,
We kind of close. You can edit that. Just put a meow and a roof and a kitty poop on there. It would be fine. At least I didn't cuss. Oh, I did cuss this time.
you did. So I'll be editing. So here's a picture of a dog.
I'm thinking capybara.
Okay, here's a picture of a capybara. A video of it.
I really know that's what I look like. She got poor taste in men. I don't know what I look like, so you can put whatever ratchet picture
You
on
know
there.
what? Don't challenge people, because internet people can be scary.
I know they can be scary.
So,
Just like actual people can be scary. Like when we went out in public with what I have right now, you're like, you didn't shave all this.
because
Because
okay,
you're
no,
not
so now we're
documenting.
going now. So now we're going
This
to
will be the
complete-
closeout.
This is a whole nother
You got
thing.
5 minutes and you're in overtime.
Oh my gosh. So this is the thing. I'm gonna say it. He has a beard. It basically makes him look basic. And other people are like, oh, you look like my cousin. You look like my guy in the band that I know. Or you look like my friend. Or you look like my coworker. Hey, can I take a picture with you? You seriously look like this dude that I
People
know.
seriously took pictures with me because my beard is magnificent.
And this dude is famous. And I'm like, basically, so you have a basic beard. It makes you look basic. Freaking get rid of it. So that's that whole story.
All right, so then I'll rebuttal with this.
Oh.
I may look basic. That's fine. I'm not insecure with myself. We
Okay.
need to be not basic. Basic, proud, and cut.
All right. Well, anyways, like and subscribe. If there's topics you would like us to discuss, I don't care how crazy it is or what you think it would be, please put it down in the comments. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.